All of my videos that have off to a great start. All of my videos that have performed the best have been my Discworld videos. Apart from my recent video about the Chosen One trope, which did way better than I ever anticipated it doing. So thank you for making that video successful. But my Discworld videos have done very well. I am honestly elated that they are the ones that people have resonated with the most, and those are the ones that have been picked up by people in the algorithm and everything else. Now, why am I so excited? Because Terry Pratchett has been my favorite author for, I think, almost 2 decades now, and I love the Discworld series very much. So the fact that those videos do well means that I get to talk about what I'm passionate about and engage with more people about this topic, which I haven't always had a lot of people to talk about Discworld with. I'm really excited to announce my Discworld read-along, and this is a huge undertaking. So let's talk about what this is going to entail, what to expect, and all of the nitty-gritty details about this. If you are here because you like Discworld content and you subscribe to my channel because you like Discworld content, you're about to get a lot of it. So what's a read-along? You seriously don't know what a read-along is? Do you have Google? All right, I guess I'll just tell you. A read-along is when you read a story along with someone. In this case, you're going to be reading the story along with me and anybody else who chooses to participate in my Discworld read-along. Now, the structure of a read-along is to incentivize people to read who may not otherwise be able to make time to do so. You're going to have a set schedule for when you need to get the book read by, and I'm going to be very generous with the amount of time that is allotted. But how do you participate? We don't exactly have an in-person book club here, and with only 250 subscribers, at least at the time of this filming, I don't really have an incentive to do a big live show or something like that where we can all sit around a circle and try to discuss these books. So how exactly are you going to be participating in this read-along? Well, I have a couple of different ways that we're going to do this. First of all, at the end of this video, I will tell you what book we're reading first and when your deadline is so that you know when you need to have the book read by. And once you have the book finished, you will be able to participate in a discussion I will be hosting on my Instagram account and on my Twitter account. And these discussions will be taking place before I film the video so that I can then go and film the video and edit it and get it posted for everybody, and hopefully bring in some of the things that people mentioned on Twitter or on Instagram when it came to the book that we just read. Over time, I'm hoping that this will grow and we'll get a lot more discussion and things will be a little bit more lively. After that video goes live, we will also have more discussions taking place in the comment section of the video. I'm really excited about those discussions. I'm really looking forward to meeting other fans of Discworld or meeting new fans of Discworld, because I'm sure that once you start, you're going to instantly become a fan, just like I did. Let's talk about the nitty-gritty details, the scheduling and the structure of this. There are 41 novels in the Discworld series. Now, especially compared to fantasy epics and sci-fi epics, they're not terribly long. I believe that the longest one is still shy of 150,000 words, so it shouldn't take too long to read these. However, I am going to be very generous with the amount of time that I'm allotting for reading each book, so we're going to have about a month for every Discworld novel. And any novel that has more than 100,000 words, I'll give people 2 months because I know some folks out there have really busy schedules. Now, I know that probably seems like a lot of time for those of us who read a lot, but there are plenty of people out there who just don't have the opportunity to read very often, so I'm trying to be generous and I don't want somebody to fall behind just because I was moving a little too quickly. I also don't want to be doing a Discworld discussion video twice a month. That's a little excessive, and I have so many other things I want to be talking about on this channel that I don't really have the space for that with my current schedule. So we're going to be doing one every month, and occasionally it'll be once every 2 months. And at the end of each discussion video, I'll be giving you the deadline for reading the next book in the series. Now, if you're somebody who's a fan of Discworld already and has already read Discworld novels, your real question that's probably plaguing you is, where are we going to start? A few months back, I released a video talking about where to begin with Discworld and where I think that you should start, with all sorts of different starting points. And the one that I have always thought is the worst starting point is chronological order. I don't think that's a great way to dive into Discworld if you've never read a Discworld novel before, because Color of Magic, while it's not a bad book, just isn't a great example of how awesome Discworld can be. I usually tell people to start with things like Guards. But we are going to be doing this read along in chronological order. There are a couple of reasons for this. One of them is that I have never personally read through the entirety of the Discworld collection in chronological order. I've always picked and chosen random books, or I picked them up because the library happened to have them, or I just read an entire collection back to back. This is going to be my first time going through Pratchett's works in the order that they were released, and I'm pretty excited to do that, and I hope that you are as well. Additionally, you're going to have the incentive of other people continuing to read along with you. So even if you're new to Discworld and you read Color of Magic and it's just not really your thing, you'll have people around you telling you, yeah, I get it, but the story gets better from here and we're just going to keep on moving forward together. Or they'll tell you, hey, based on why you didn't like Color of Magic, I think you're going to really enjoy this one that's going to come in a couple of months. I think that just having that support and having other people around you who are excited to talk about Discworld is going to incentivize you to keep with it, even if we're starting with a couple of books that just aren't as great as the later ones. Again, I love all of them. There's not a book that I would say I hate or that I think I would rate lower than 4 stars, although that might change now that I'm doing a reread. I love all of the Discworld books. There's not a bad one in the mix, so I'm sure that you're gonna have a good time regardless. Very briefly, I just wanna talk about ways that you can support the read along. Creating content is something that costs money and that is time consuming. I don't make any money from ads on YouTube. Even if I did, it would not be very much. Everybody has this vision that YouTubers have a lot of money. I promise you, even the ones who have a million subscribers probably aren't making most of their money from YouTube. So even if I started making ad revenue, it would not cover the costs of doing all this, let alone the amount of time that it takes to do this. So if you are somebody who is interested in supporting the read along, the best way that you can do that is just to use the affiliate link that I'll have in the description to buy the next book that we're going to be reading. In each of the videos, I will have a link in the description where you can go and buy the next book, and I will get a few cents off of that purchase. But if that's not your thing, I totally get it, and you can just like, comment, subscribe, all of the typical YouTube stuff on each of the videos, and all of that will also help because it will boost it, and there may be somebody else out there who wants to participate in the discussions. So those are both great ways to support it, either monetary or just socially. Any of those is really going to help me out as I start to do this read along, because this read along is a huge undertaking. With 41 books and an average of 1 month to read each of the books, this is going to take us a few years to get through. So supporting me through that as we go through this read along together is really going to help spur me forward and keep me moving. So regardless of the form that your support comes in, I do really appreciate it. And now, without further ado, let's go ahead and kick off the read along by announcing the first book we're going to be reading and what the deadline is. The first book that we will read is... my back. My back. Oh, my back. Where'd it go? There. There it is. It's hiding. Hold on, this is gonna take a minute. Okay. The first book that we will read is The Color of Magic, Book 1 in the Discworld collection. And your deadline for reading this book, which is not very long, the version I'm holding right here is 240 pages. The deadline that you have to finish this book in order to participate in the pre-video discussion is October 5th. You need to have the book read by October 5th, and at that point I'm going to have posts on my Instagram and my Twitter accounts in which we will discuss the book and talk about what we have read. So if you aren't following me in either of those places, whichever one you prefer to use, I would check the links in the description down below and go and follow me there so that you can keep an eye out for when the discussion posts go up. So thank you very much for taking the time to check out this video. I really appreciate it. I hope you'll participate in the Discworld read along. If you would like to see another video from me, you can do so by clicking up here. And until next time, bye.